Namaste everyone, this is Stephen from YogaWorks. Welcome to your practice. Today we're going to be working towards an arm balance, actually one of my favorite arm balance, which is called Astavakrasana. The first time I saw this arm balance on a picture or in a video somewhere, I thought, how do you even start? How do you even think about coming into this? And actually, over time, I've learned that with a bit of skill, a bit of preparation, that's actually quite feasible and with an incredible result, which hopefully you'll get to experience at least a part of. This pose is called after a famous sage in the old yoga tradition, and his name was Astavakrasana. And Ashta means 8. And Vakra means sort of crooked or angled or bent. So that sage was born with a terrible deformity. He was bent or crooked in 8 places because when he was a fetus in the womb, he corrected his dad when he was reciting some verses, and the dad in turn cursed him, and he was born with sort of this deformity, with being crooked in 8 places. But despite this terrible setback, he went on to become one of the most famous sages of his time, became like an advisor to kings and wrote some famous poetry. And this is what this is all about. So despite, aren't we all a bit crooked in a way, you could say, you know, this is a bit tight, I'm a little bit weak here, I wish this was a little bit different. And in a way, we're all like the sage Astavakrasana, slightly crooked in places, so to speak, but we're able to overcome that and actually use what we have to create an amazing experience. Whether or not you're able to do the final arm balance, that's actually not really the point. This class is, it's a bit of a higher intensity. It's going to be at a level 2 to 3. It doesn't mean that you've had to have done yoga for many years, but it does mean that you have to be in for a little bit of intensity to work slightly harder, because this is it's a demanding pose. We'll have to warm up the hips a lot, we'll need a bit of twisting action, we'll need a good chaturanga in the upper body and the arms, and then when we combine all these elements, right at the end, we'll be trying out this pose and drop into a peaceful relaxation at the end. All right, let's get going. You probably need 2 blocks for this. I'd recommend it just to lift you up a little bit higher. It's going to give you a bit of better ground clearance, but I'll show you all of that later. So let's lie on the back and just draw the knees in and feel the touch of your back body, of your spine, connecting with the mat. And then just notice what happens when you draw the knees a little bit further in. You'll feel your tailbone and the sacrum lift. And then feel what happens if the knees go a little bit further, and you feel a slight arch in the lower back. And just repeat that a few times, drawing in and moving the knees away from you, just to start to bring some gentle movements into the body, into the spine. And for this class, we'll be needing quite a bit of hip flexion, which is the knees drawing up towards the chest. So we'll be doing quite a lot of work to drill this in so that our body remembers it. And this is the first really gentle introduction to that action. And then just release the left leg out on the mat. Activate it a little bit, straighten, ground the leg down, and then pull just the right knee in. You can pull in with both hands, and then ever so slightly squeeze into the chest. And just feel that compression at the front of the hip. That's that hip flexion that we talked about earlier. Now hold the right leg just with the right hand and open the knee a little bit to the side, but not so much that your left hip comes off the mat. So stop before that happens. And then can you release the right hand so that the right leg has to work a little bit harder. And then slowly, as if you're pushing your foot away from you along the edge of your mat, straighten that leg, don't put it down. Point your foot, bring the legs together, and then bring the knee in. So we're making a little hip circle here. Again, flex the foot, no hands, open the leg to the side. That's abduction, and then press the foot and the heel away from you as you straighten the leg, and turn the knee up to the ceiling. And as you point the foot, bring the knee back in. Continue a few times with these simple hip circles. So we're just starting to warm up the hip joint with these circular rotations. It's a nice way to bring awareness to the hip joint and also see what kind of range of motion is available. And then either continue this or just change to the other direction. Pointing as you go forward, flexing as you pull in this time. You straighten forward, then you turn the foot out and circle around to 3 more. 2. And 1. Now straighten the right leg, bring the left knee in. Gently pull the knee in. Again, feel that compression, the front of the left hip, the hip flexion that we're going to need for this arm balance, for many arm balances actually. Then with the left hand holding the shin, just open the leg to the side without letting the right hip lift. So don't go too far. Just feel gentle stretch in the inner thighs here. And then release the hand. Can you keep everything the same? And then can you start to push your heel away from you, keeping the foot flexed for now. And then turn the knee up to the ceiling, bring the legs together. And as you point the foot, bring the knee in. So no hands, we'll repeat that a few times. Flex the foot, abduct, which is open the hip to the side. And then straighten your knee. Bring the legs together, point the foot and pull it in. Continue a few more rounds in this direction, feeling into the left hip joint. The connection to your core, to your mid-center, which is going to be really important later on. You could continue in this direction, or I like to change the direction of the circle. It's a slightly different approach. I'm doing 5 in total, is it 3 more? 2. And 1. Nice, place the left leg down. Bring the right knee up into the chest. Squeeze with both hands. And then try to keep as much of that squeeze as possible without the use of the hands. Probably that knee will bounce up a little bit, but try to keep it in as best as you can. Now start to straighten the right leg up as best as you can. If there's still a little bend in the right knee, there's no big problem. Nice, keep that. Now start to reach your hands forward inside that right leg. Lift the head, lift the chest, lift the shoulders. And then press your hands away as if you're in an arm balance on an imaginary floor here. And now lift the left leg and hook it over the right and squeeze your right upper arm. See if you can slide that arm a bit further through the legs and really squeeze with the adductors. So guess what? We're in Astavakrasana, but lying on our back. This is a great prep. I love to start like this. It feels like you've already done it. Even if the second one is not going to work, already there's success. Lie back, enjoy your success. Let it seep in. All right. Of course, there's some hidden core work behind the success story. Straighten the right leg, ground it down. Pull the left knee into your chest, squeeze with the hands. Keep the knee in as close as you can as you release the hands. Feel the hip flexor is working hard to pull the knee in, and then straighten the left leg as best as you can. And reach both hands inside the left leg. Lift the head, lift the chest, lift the shoulders. Keep the legs super active, then push your hands away like you're already in the arm balance. Now start to lift the right leg, hook it over in front of that left ankle, and slide the hands through a little bit more. Squeeze with the legs, squeeze your bicep, your tricep, your elbow, wherever you get to, and push the hands away, lift, 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 and squeeze the inner thighs. Welcome to 8 angle pose, crooked in 8 places, release. Just lie back for a moment. Okay, that's enough rest. We're just getting started. Lie on your left side. Lie on the left side and just place your right foot in front of that left thigh. You can stay up on the left elbow. We'll practice that adduction, the squeeze of the inner thighs together by lying sideways like this. All we're going to do is lift the left leg a little bit up. It's probably not going to go very high, but you'll feel all this tissue on the inside of the leg is activating. 3, 2, 1, set it down. The more you lie down, you're away from that leg, the easier this is going to get. The higher up you are, the more straight up, the harder this is going to get. I like to be somewhere in between for the right intensity for my body. Just see what you need to do to achieve that for you. Again, we're lifting the left leg, engage the left inner thigh, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Got one more round left. Again, lift the left inner thigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg down. Swap to the second side. So I'm lying on my right side, the right leg is straight, left foot in front of the bottom thigh, and on the elbows here you can go higher or lower depending on what you need, but in either case engage the tissues on the inside of the right thigh to start to lift that right leg off the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. So as we lift, we don't want any changes or compensations in the rest of the body. We're trying to keep everything really steady and strong. So here we go. Again, lift the right leg. Doesn't have to go high. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. One more. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And set it down. Come into a box shape, so on your hands and knees, and we'll warm up the shoulders a little bit. We've done quite a bit of hip preparation just now. So shoulders above wrists, hips above your knees, and then come into a neutral spine as best as you can. So not super rounded, not hollow, just in a good neutral position. And then we're going to work just with the shoulder joints. First, drop the chest down. Keep dropping the chest down as you draw the shoulders down towards the ears. Keep drawing the shoulders down to the ears as you press the chest up. Keep pressing the chest up as you lift the shoulders up towards the ears. And then make circles like this. We're drawing the shoulders together. We're pressing the shoulder blades down the back. Keep your arms straight. Press the hands down to broaden the upper back. And then lift the shoulders up. That's elevation. Let's do one more round. Protraction, shoulder blades move together. Depression, press shoulder blades down your back. Protraction, the shoulder blades slide apart. And elevation, they lift up towards the ears. Let's change direction from elevation. Protract. Press shoulder blades down the back. Keep that as you lower the chest down. Keep lowering the chest down as you lift shoulders up to the ears. Keep lifting shoulders up to the ears as you lift the chest up. Keep lifting the chest up as the shoulders press down. Continue for a few more rounds. Shoulders up, shoulder blades apart, shoulder blades down the back. and shoulder blades together. One more round, up, sliding apart, pressing down, and sliding together. Nice. From here, we'll just do one round, a practice round for Chaturanga. We're going to keep our arm strength for the end of the class when we try the arm balance, but it's good to just review a little bit of this technique. So we're going to keep the knees down just to not have too much weight. We can focus more on what the shoulders are doing that way. And we're going to keep the belly really active, so we don't want to go into a back bend. So keep knitting front ribs together. I'm leaning the shoulders forward over the fingertips, and then bend the elbows a little bit and hold. 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's do one more. If you find that was not very challenging for you, then you can go with the knees up, so from a high plank. Otherwise, keep the knees down. Probably that's going to be best if you're a little bit newer to this. So go easy. Lean the shoulders forward, bend your elbows. You don't have to bend them 90 degrees. 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Nice. From here, do a mild back bend, super soft. Just as a little counter to the arm, the chest work. And exhale, move to downward facing dog. Take a few moments here. You can move around. You can pedal the legs out. Do whatever you need to right now. And then settle, come to stillness in your down dog. We're going to be doing a little flow to warm up, mostly the hips. Inner thighs and external rotators of the hips is what we're going to need a lot of, as well as that hip flexion that we touch upon. Lift the right leg high. And then right knee, bend it and move it to the right outer arm or shoulder. 2 more times, lift the right leg up. Right knee to right upper arm, squeeze in. 1 more, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, squeeze it in. And step the right foot forward. Nice. Lower the left knee down, lengthen the chest forward and up. And on the exhale, tuck the back toes under, move to pyramid pose. It's okay to keep a little bend in the right knee. Move through this a few times, back knee down, chest slides forward and up. Exhale, pyramid pose, pull the right hip back. So that's hard to say. Inhale, chest forward, little back bend in the spine. Exhale. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, pull the right hip back, chest forward. 1 more, inhale. Exhale. Nice, place the back knee down. Come up, hands to the heart. Twist the left elbow over your right knee and press the hands together. So I'm lengthening out of the lower back, forward and up, following the length of the spine. And then it's the rib cage that is really turning, not really the lower back. There's not much rotation there, if any. Press the hands together, roll that right shoulder open. Maybe if the back toes are tucked under, you can lift that back knee for a moment. 3, 2, 1. Lower the hands, down dog. Take a breath. Continuing second side, lift the left leg high. Exhale, bend that left knee, bring it to the outside of your left arm as high as you can. Squeeze in. 2 more, inhale, up and back. Exhale, squeeze left knee in. 1 more, inhale. Inner left knee to outer left shoulder, squeeze. Step the left foot forward, lower the right knee down. Inhale, chest forward. Get the feeling of arching your back. Exhale, fold forward, pull the left hip back. Inhale, chest forward, back knee down. Exhale. Got 3 more. Lose yourself in a simple movement, in this breath pattern. Exhale, pull back. Enjoy the simplicity of some of these poses. To be effective, it's good to keep it simple. 1 more, inhale. Exhale. Right knee, place it down. Hands come together in front of the chest. Twist to the left, place your right elbow over left knee. Press it down, lift the left elbow, and then turn the rib cage to the left. Couple of breaths here. If you have difficulty breathing in this pose, then just go a little bit softer, just back off a little bit. Obviously the breath will be a little bit constricted because of this setup. And then if you did so on the other side, you could tuck the back toes under for the high lunge variation of this twist. 3, 2, straighten the back leg if you're lifting the knee. 1, lower the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Use this as a little counter to lengthen the spine, to stretch the arms and the legs out, and to get your focus back. Inhale to plank. Exhale, slowly lower down. Use the chaturanga method that we have done before, even if it's with your knees down. That's always a great one to start with. And then little back bend. We don't want a big back bend today because we're working actually more on a forward folding action for our arm balance. And then exhale, back to down dog. Nice, lift the right leg high. Exhale, bend right knee to outer right shoulder squeeze in. Only 2 this time. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, squeeze. Keep this. Step the right foot lightly as you can outside the right hand. Really nice. Place the back knee down. Nice. Keep that right hand grounded inside the right foot. I like to turn the toes out a little bit. And then what we're doing here is squeezing the inner right knee to the outer right shoulder. Build up that tension we're holding for a little while. And we want to start to feel the tissues on the inside of this right thigh here activate as they're being lengthened. Squeezing in for building up the tension. Gradually starting 10%, build up to 20%. Squeeze harder, building up 40, 50%. Increase the tension, 70, 80%. There should never be any pain, but if you're pain-free, you could squeeze as hard as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're shaking, that's good. Release that tension. Now open the knee further to the side, so you're engaging the tissues on the outer hip, and walk your hands a little bit to the opposite side. So now we're stretching the inner thigh tissues, the ones we just activated. And we're using the outer hip muscles to press that knee out towards the right. Slowly walk the hands back to center. Now we'll do one more little activation, which is more for the hip flexion. We're pressing the right foot down, so really push down as if you're about to stand up onto that leg. Imagine. Push that heel through the mat. Imagine and feel which part of your hip muscles is doing this. Push, push, push the right foot down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now imagine you're trying to pull your right foot straight off the ground. This is going to engage the hip flexor here on the right. Pull up. Probably it's not going to lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release all that internal work and step back to downward facing dog. Take a breath. Find your center. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale left knee to outer left shoulder as high as you get, squeeze in. Inhale left leg high. Exhale left knee, squeeze in. Slowly step the left foot forward with control. Turn the toes a little bit out like we've done on the first side. Lower the back knee down. I'm placing left hand right inside his left foot so that I've got something for the left inner knee to press into, and then I'm starting to ramp up that pressure again. I'm feeling all the tissues on the left inner thigh activate here. Start softly for 10 to 20%. You can stop at any time. If this feels painful, then immediately back off. If it's not painful, then increase 30, 40, 50%. You might start to shake. Increase 60, 70%. Keep increasing 80 and maybe above your maximum pain-free threshold. Hold there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Peel the left knee away from that left arm. Let it externally rotate, but I prefer not to lift the inner foot. And just walk your hands a bit to the right. So engaging the left outer hip to turn the knee away from us. And soften the chest down for a moment, just feel that. So we're using some mobility work exercises to get into the hip tissues that we want to prepare for our arm balance later on. It's good work to do even without the arm balance. And then walk your hands back to center. We'll do one more. This one's for the hip flexion. First, push the left foot down into the mat. Imagine you're trying to imprint your footprint onto the mat or onto the floor. Push down, push down, push down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, nothing will change place, but you're going to try and lift the left foot off the mat. Of course, it's not really lifting, but you'll feel there's a different activation in the front of the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, slowly lower down onto your belly. Mini cobra. Not too much weight in the hands. Even the hands can be just resting down on the mat. Just a bit of spinal extension. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step back. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, right knee to right outer shoulder, squeeze in. One more, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee squeeze in, we're drilling in this adduction action. Step your right foot in the middle between the hands. Turn the back heel down, warrior 2 pose. Just sink in for a moment. Nice to get the weight of the hands and to work into the legs a little bit more. Nice. From here, place the right fingertips inside the right foot. If this is not happening for you, then don't panic. Just grab 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 blocks, however many you need, to ground that right hand down. Create a little platform and then squeeze the right knee in onto your right upper arm, just like we've been doing in some of the other poses. And then stretch the left arm up and reach it forward over the head, side angle pose. Hold. 5, 4, lengthen the top side. 3, 2, 1. If you want to, this is optional. You can stay longer or you can go for the bind. Press your right knee into the outer shoulder. And if the bind is not happening, don't even worry about it. Just stay in the previous variation with the block. And then release. Nice. And place the block off to the side. Just wiggle the right foot towards the left side of the mat and lower the right outer hip down. We're going to be doing some more hip work, which is called 90-90. Might be hard to see my back leg, but it's at a 90-degree angle, so my left shin parallel to the long edge of the mat, right shin parallel to the short edge of the mat. Sit up tall. Keep the knees grounded as best as you can. Walk a little bit forward with the hands. And I like to open the hands a little bit wider. Don't go all the way down, you lose all the stretch. So go halfway down. It's a bit counterintuitive, but you'll see why in a moment. So go 45 degrees. Now let's try these cues. First cue, press the right knee down and pull the right hip back. Just feel that. You want to feel it deep inside that hip capsule, deep inside the hip joint. Second cue, arch the lower back a little bit. So you're creating a little back bend in the lower back. And relax the belly down towards your front thigh. You've never heard that in a yoga class, relax your belly. But yes, it's exactly what we want here. And then last cue, lengthen your chest, forward and up. Over the right shin. By now you've probably lost pulling that right hip back. You've probably lost the arch in the lower back. So if it's possible, get it back. If it's not possible, then it's not possible. Take another moment. And then slowly come out just to down dog. Take a breath. Again, center yourself. Use these little moments of pause in between to gather your attention. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, bend the left knee, squeeze it onto the left upper arm or shoulder. One more, inhale. Exhale, squeeze in. Step the left foot in the middle between the hands. Turn the back heel down. I like the heels to be in the same line, but you can experiment with that. And then coming up, warrior two. Nice simple pose, just to catch our breath for a moment. And then side angle, let's set it up. Left fingertips inside left foot, or grab as many blocks as you need to bring the floor up, so to speak. Then we're squeezing left inner knee into the left upper arm and revolving the chest open. Feel the tissues on the left inner thigh activate. We're going to need this for arm balance. And stretch the right arm up and maybe take it over the head into the full pose. 5. Soften the breath. 4. 3, 2, and 1. Either stay here or try the full bind, so my left arm goes under left thigh, right arm circles around. With a little bit of luck and practice, you'll find that other hand behind you, roll the right shoulder back. This is not important, it's actually not my favorite option. But since we're going to be needing some of this action for our arm balance, it's nice to practice it here. Release the bind, wiggle left foot to the right side of the mat, lower the hip down. Setting up our 90-90, be quite precise about this. You want to engineer it so that it's exactly 90 in all the angles, your foot, your knee, your hip, your other knee, your other foot. And it helps to use the sidelines of the mat to have some direction here. Keeping the chest long, start to walk the hands a bit forward, over the front shin. I like to have the hands quite wide. Don't go deeper than about halfway. You can go less, that's fine. But I would say don't go more. And practice these cues. Press the left knee down. Pull the left outer hip back and out. None of these actually move anything, but it's more of an internal activation and isometric contraction, it's called. Now, second cue, arch the lower back, so lifting tailbone slightly, relax the belly to your left thigh. See how that feels. Third cue, lengthen the chest, forward and up over the middle of the left shin. Remember, cue 1, pull the left hip back. Cue 2, arch lower back. Cue number 3, lengthen chest forward. And then slowly come up. Step your way back into downward facing dog. Let's reset with a vinyasa, inhale to plank. Lower knees down. To practice that chaturanga, we need to move the chest forward, keep the upper back strong. Bend the elbows a little bit. And lower down. Mini cobra pose, don't go too far. Just lengthen the chest and the belly a little bit. Exhale, move the hips back onto your heels. And then keep your toes tucked as you walk your hands back and come into a little squat at the back of your mat. Wiggle the feet together so the balls of the feet, the big toes touch, the heels also touch, and open your knees wide. And for a moment, fold forward inside your knees and allow the back just to gently round. Feel this nice stretch in the lower back. Now let's do crow pose, which is the foundational arm balance, often an entry point to balancing on your hands. And it's a nice one to practice here because the other one sort of builds more onto this. So I'm staying here, and what I'm doing first is I'm wriggling the arms more in front of the knees here and the shins. So once you get there, keep that connection, keep pressing your arms back onto the front of the knees, lift your hips a little bit and place your hands out in front of you. Nice, you want to start with hips quite low so that you're not coming low to high, you're actually just moving forward. Your hips are already at the right level. Now lean a little bit forward until you start to feel your feet become a little bit lighter. And you can try lift one foot, maybe lift both feet if it so happens today. I'm keeping my elbows bent today because that's what we'll be doing for Astavakrasana. 5, breathe in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come out into squat. Sink down for a moment and recalibrate. Nice, we've got one more little preparation and then we'll be ready to try our arm balance. Walk your hands back to down dog. Inhale, right leg high. Only one this time. Right knee to right outer shoulder, squeeze in. Step the right foot outside your right hand. Lower the back knee down. And then wiggle your foot slightly forward and drop your right shoulder inside this right thigh. What I like to do is press the back of the heel, press it forward so that I can get the right shoulder a little bit more under that right knee or thigh or the back of the calf. Any amount is fine. Nice, stay here. And then just walk your hands a little bit back as if you're doing chaturanga. So bending elbows, there's no weight in the hands, so this should be quite doable. Then tuck your back toes under, straighten the back leg and lengthen your chest forward, maybe even look forward just to accentuate that. This is option 1. There's always more stuff you can do. Option 2 is binding it behind your back. So maybe finding the hands, I'm still trying to lengthen the chest. Forward, forward, forward. 3, 2, 1. To come out, you can either just step out Or if you want to come out with an arm balance, there is Ekapada Kundinasana number 2. And then step back. Catch your breath. If at any point you need child's pose, then don't feel shy to take it. You're practicing at home after all. You've even got a pause button on your machine that you're watching on. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee, outer shoulder, squeeze. Step the left foot outside the left hand. I'm feeling nice and warm already. I hope the same for you. Drop the back knee down. Walk the left foot slightly forward. And then lower the left shoulder inside that left knee. I like to push the left calf or Achilles with my left hand to wiggle the left shoulder a bit more under. You might need to do that a few times. Keep that, just slide the hands slightly back. Chaturanga, lengthen the chest forward and then tuck the back toes under. Straighten the back leg. So this is a big part of our pose, of our setup later on, so just experience that. If you're going to try to bind, then go for it. The full bind around the back. Not that it's better, but it might be fun. Lengthen your chest forward. 3, 2, 1. And then coming out any way you like, but maybe the arm balance could be a fun option. Nice, child's pose. Ooh, I thought you would never say it. I can hear you think through the screen. No, it's actually more because I need child's pose. And I hope you're taking one too. Just feel that. Prepare our body, the hips, the shoulders, the core for this pretty demanding arm balance that we're going to give a try now. But first, catch your breath. And already you've done the arm balance on your back, so you can let go of that pressure of having to do it no matter what. You've already done it. The rest is a bonus. And then slowly roll up. This is where we're likely to need the block. So if you've got something, a heavy book, or something that looks like a block, then place it nearby and swing your legs out in front of you. Nice. Now bend the right knee and then just hold the right foot out in front of you with both hands. Start to move from side to side. We maybe want to rotate this right thigh in this hip joint. So just feel that action. I'll show you a second option. In case you want a bit of a deeper stretch, you can place the right foot in the left inner elbow. Maybe wrap the arms around and then use this to rock your baby, which is your right hip in this case. The higher you lift the foot and the more you bring it in towards you, the more you'll feel. But for me, this is pretty intense as it is right now, so I'm going to stay here. Nice. Now bring the right arm under the right calf. With the left hand, lift that foot up a bit. I actually like to hold the outside of the foot and then lift your leg up and hoist it over your shoulder, so to speak, almost like you're putting on a backpack. Do that again. Hoist. And then every time I get a little bit higher, I'm clamping that knee down. Once it's as high as you can possibly hope for, keep the clamp, but place your hands down, and then just lift the hips up a little bit. Squeeze the right knee down, look forward, lift the chest slightly, and then maybe as you lean the hips a little bit back, your front leg might come up. 3, 2, 1. Woo, set it down. That was the elegant way to come out. Just flop down on your buttocks. That's called elephant trunk pose. Actually, this might be harder than the other pose, the final pose that we're working towards. This is a really good prep, and that's most of the strength work is already in it. All right, let's rock the left hip, grab your left foot, swing it forward and back. And maybe place the foot in your elbow, hold it with both hands, and rock side to side. If you need to feel more, then just lift your foot a bit higher and maybe squeeze your shin closer to your chest. Try not to round your back too much. I know my back is a little bit rounded because of some restrictions in the outer hip. But if you've got a choice, then don't do that. Rocking, rocking, rocking. I'll show you with the blocks now. I'll place them on either side just to get ready. And bring left arm under the left leg. Hold the foot with both hands lifted up and squeeze the shoulder under. Again, rock back, up, squeeze your shoulder under, and once it's as good as it's gonna get, the blocks a little bit in front of the hips. I'm pressing my hands down, squeezing this, clamping the knee down. Lean forward, push your hands down, straighten the elbows. And then as you slide the hips a little bit back, maybe the left leg can lift. 3, 2, 1, and set it down. That's the Bhujangasana. No, not Bhujangasana. I forgot the Sanskrit name, but it's the elephant trunk pose. Bhujapidasana, I think. Take a breath. Now, I'll show you the 2 next stages. We're going to leave the blocks out. Go back to the right leg. Do that same action. Maybe rock a little bit more, but if you feel you're ready, just sling your knee over your shoulder. And then place your hands. Nice. Before we lift, do this. Just cross your left ankle in front of the right knee. So we've got this set up. Now slide your hips a little bit back. And I just see this block is in the way. Slide the hips a little bit back. We're going to be doing the face plant variation. Just straighten the legs a little bit. Slide the hips back. And lie on your belly, so to speak. Now I'm squeezing the right upper arm. This is the pose, but extremely low, without a lot of weight on the hands. All right, just so you can feel the shape. And then in a moment we'll try it hovering above the ground, or let's just see what happens. We don't need to run ahead. All right, left leg. Sling the backpack over your shoulder, squeeze the knee in, place your hands, don't lift up, cross the right shin. I like to flex the feet so I have a bit of resistance there. Then slide your hips a bit back, start to straighten the legs as best as you can, and then lengthen your chest forward, look forward, and this is the face plant variation of our arm balance, which is quite fun. Notice this right shoulder will want to drop. Do your best to lift it up and lengthen the chest forward. Smile for the camera, always smile for the camera. Here we go. Let's hope for the best. We're ready to try the full version. You've got all the elements, you've got the right attitude. You are just giving it a try without any expectations. That is the path of the yogi. Put on your backpack on the right shoulder. Nice, get the blocks ready if you've got them. Nice, first we're lifting up. Now we're crossing left ankle. Then the legs go out to the side. I'm squeezing the upper arms. I'm adding chaturanga. Looking forward. Smile. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Well done. Take a breath. I told you, it's not an easy pose. So if you're thinking right now, this is not an easy pose, I warned you in the beginning. But this is really fun and exciting work, so well done. We've got one more side, we'll take it really easy, I promise. Left knee, sling it over the left shoulder. As high as you can, it's going to help you later on. Lift up, right ankle cross, squeeze the upper arm, bend your elbows, lengthen the chest forward. Pretend you are reading a book like this, or you're really relaxed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and swing out. All right. If you've got a block, I would say come into restorative bridge pose for a moment. I'm going to go on the higher setting, but you can go in the medium one. If you don't have a block, then just do a very relaxed bridge. Just lift the hips a little bit, just to start to open all these tissues that were contracted before. Hip flexors, abdominals, chest and front of the shoulders. Feel the breath. Slowly calm down and feel the arms can relax, your belly can soften, and there's nothing left to do. You have put in the effort. Whatever happens at the end, this is not the main point. The point is you showed up for your practice. We're all a little bit crooked, maybe in more than 8 places, like Astavakrasana. But despite these so-called challenges or setbacks, we're able to make the most of what our body and mind can do. This is really what yoga is about. To become the very best version of ourselves that we can. Couple more deeper breaths. Become heavier and heavier on your block. If you're holding without a block, then of course feel free to come out earlier and rest on your back. And then everyone slowly slide the block out. Lower the hips. Place the soles of the feet together and let the knees open to the side. Astavakrasana. We've done a lot of squeezing in with the legs, so now this is a nice counter pose to that. And just feel the restful nature of this. After this hard work, this feels twice as good. Let the breath slow down even more. And then slowly bring the knees together. Slide your right leg out. Bring the left knee into your chest. And then guide the left knee over to the right side for simple spinal twist. You can stretch your left arm away from the left shoulder. Or there's another option if you want to bend that bottom leg and hold the right foot in your left hand. If it's available, then that's another option you could use. Either way, drop in. Start the restful nature of the Shavasana, you could start it already here. We're learning how to connect with the peaceful center, which the yogis say is your true nature. Even in a crazy pose like this arm balance, with just that. Slowly release, roll back onto center. And then let's take it to the second side, left leg straight to start with. Bend the right knee in. Open the right knee to the left side, just guide it across. Maybe right arm to the right, that feels good, just stay here. Or another option, you can bend your bottom leg, hold the left foot with your right hand, and just rest here for a few moments. With every breath, can you become more relaxed? Just observing what's happening in your body and even what's happening in your mind right now. If there's any thoughts left like, oh, I'm really bad at this, I'll never be able to do certain poses, then let that go immediately. You have already done it, or most of them, the vast majority of the poses, you have done them. The rest is not very helpful right now. Slowly release, just straighten out your arms and legs and lie down on your back for Shavasana. Did you ever deserve this Shavasana? And how quickly can you drop tension from the hips, from the shoulders, from around the spine, from the face? How fully can you rest here on your back? And can you keep a gentle touch of awareness? Not an active thinking or planning, but just a noticing what's happening as you rest here. If you have a little bit more time, then I would recommend that you stay a little bit longer if it's available. Maybe 5-10 more minutes will do wonders. If your yoga time is up, then we've just reached an hour of practice. So start to move your hands and move your feet. Bend your knees, roll over onto one side. And then slowly come up into sitting. Bring your hands together in front of the heart. Take a moment, feel your body after your practice. Send out gratitude to your body for being able to practice yoga in some form or another. Touch your hands to your forehead, to your heart, and bow to yourself on the mat. Thank you so much for practicing. Well done. And namaste, everyone. I hope to see you again here soon. Take good care.